or hell, whichever one you're going to. And that's the woman's curse. And then to Adam, he said, now, for you women, it's your duty and your job to find a man that can rule over you, that you can respect and get under. Don't change God's word one bit. Talking about God's authority. He says, relationship to him. And this is for the men. Here's your curse. And in Adam, he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree which I commanded thee, saying, he said, I told you not to eat it, and you listen to her. Men been listening to women going awry and resent. Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. The earth became cursed because of Adam. And in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Here's your sorrow. We gotta work. Thorns and thistles shall they bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat herb, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread. That's our curse. You gotta work. And you work till you die. You can't say that about retirement. In this book, we have to work till we're dead. Ain't no retirement. In the sweat of thy face shall thou eat bread. Here you go right here. Till thou return into the ground. Ain't nothing about no retirement. Work till you die. I just said that. God said it. And I said what God said the first day. I don't see no retirement, Brother Jay. It's like, I've been working all my life with jail work. And the sweat of thy face, thou shalt eat thy bread, till thou return to the ground. For out of it was thou taken, from dust thou art, and dust thou shalt return. And man's been dying ever since. All right, so out of that we got rebellion of man and woman, listening to the serpent. And all creation failed. And the religion of Babylon was introduced right here, the false religion of Babylon. Now, let's go, we're going to what you're going to do, so now we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. Slide on down to Genesis 11, chapter 1. Still in Genesis. And the old, now this is the Babylon here, the ancient Babylon. And the whole earth was of one language. Everybody spoke one tongue. Everybody could communicate with everybody. Make sure we lay the groundwork. And of one speech. One language, one speech, no dialects, no nothing. Everything's the same. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar. The Shinar would be ancient Iran, that area, Persian, Babylon. Or Iraq, I'll just move these points to Iraq, close to Iran. Can't think of the name of that group of people, Kurds, somewhere in their territory. In the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone and slime for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach into heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. This is all a one world order. This is the first one world order here. See what they're doing. All united under evil, according to God's eye. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people are one. They all have one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. So if the people are one, nothing can stop. They're united under one evil cause. Let us go down. God said, let us come down to earth. So let's get out of heaven and go down, let's take a trip. Let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. See how God feels about one world religion, one world government, one world anything, one world language, communication. See how He feels about it? And Lord scattered them. Now you wonder. Now Nimrod was ruling during this period. He's the first Antichrist. That's why we're on this. Nimrod's the one that ordered that tower to be built in heaven. Ziggurat, who was some type of what you call, like CERN is doing. Some way they travel through a portal, what they were doing. It's more sophisticated than most people. Some people try to say it's an observatory and all, but no observatory. These people are very advanced. Scientists are still scratching their head at some of the machines and things. They just ancient machines and stuff they discovered. Still can't duplicate. It's some of the stonework that they've done, artifacts they found, they don't have instruments that can cut and polish stone with such detail, like surgical instruments. Detail is so sharp. So man was a lot more intelligent. He went downhill. He evolved. He didn't evolve. And archaeology, paleontology, and science is proving it over and over again. They're scratching their head on too many things they found. It ain't really alien technology. Fallen angel technology. Even technology we have is fallen angel technology. People are very smart because they live a lot longer than us. They're living almost 1,000 years. So, and Einstein lived 1,000 years. It's one smart cookie on his 800th birthday. This is God. God didn't have no love for the New World Order. They still don't. Christ gonna return from history to crush the New World Order of the Antichrist. So the Lord scattered them abroad, thence upon the face of all the earth. Now they took their pagan religion with them. That's why paganism, child sacrifice, all that stuff goes on around the whole world. Part of that ancient religion, sun god, moon god, goddess worship. Just different dialects, different tongues. But they took their paganism with them, when God scattered. They took their memories of Nimrod, Semiramis, the queen, his queen, and Ptolemy. The Antichrist religion, the false god religion. So the Lord scattered them abroad, thence upon the face of the earth, and they left off to build the city. Now they found this tower of remnants of it, right where God said it was in China, ancient China, in Iraq. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, was confusion, because God did there confound their language of all the earth. And from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth. All over the earth. When he said the whole earth, we're talking islands everywhere. Pacific Islands, Atlantic, wherever you go, there's people. And they all have some kind of common denominator with the pagan religions. And they also have a common denominator with knowing the real God of the Bible. And we're going to get to that later in the New Testament. But they rebelled against God. Man's been rebelling. They rebelled here. And Nimrod actually declared war on God. The shoot arrows up in heaven trying to get man. You know, the same thing the Antichrist is going to do. Go to war with the nations, go to war, people go to war against God. Christ is going to wipe them out with the sword of his mouth. The valley of Megiddo, Armageddon. Okay, so now we got this false religion, rebellion being shown here. This is the birth of the Babylonian religion. Nimrod, Semiramis, Tyrus, sun goddess worship, gods, sun god, Thomas. That's where all your pagan Nelly days come from. Christmas, the Ishtar, Easter, moon god worship. All before Christ even came on the scene. Rome, which is the new Babylon, they put their stamp on these so-called Christian religions, which is paganism. It's ancient old cult. It's for the Christian mass long before Christ came. Thousands of years, they was worshiping the sun god, moon gods, revised sun god, Satan's trinity, worshiping demons, witchcraft, sorcery, all part of this ancient religion. That's why we're on this topic. The spirit of Antichrist has been working for a long time, since Genesis, we read. That's where it was birthed. All right, moving on. Well, we got that in. We got that in. Go to Deuteronomy 28. Excuse me. Go to Deuteronomy 28. It's two religions in a bit of war since the Garden of Eden. I want you to have that. It's part of your memory for life, and you get out of this sermon. That the rebel religion in Babylon started in the Garden of Eden. With the serpent. Deuteronomy 28. And the occult recognizes that. They just have everything backwards. And God is the enemy. Garden of Eden is the prison that Eve was put in. And Lucifer is the good guy. The angel of light that delivers man from the tyranny of Jehovah. So called in a nutshell. Everything's turned around backwards. It's backwards religion. Religion of reversal. What Alice McCall is saying. All right, Deuteronomy 28. Verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou wilt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, I will command thee this day that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Free will. You can go one way or the other. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of the ground, and the fruit of the cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket, and thy store. You're going to be economically prosperous as a nation. You're going to be above all the other nations, God's saying, if you're obedient to the Lord. Blessed shall thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shall thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against me. You're going to have them enemies. Look what God says He's going to do. To be smitten before thy face. You get to watch Him for Him. He will bring something more, some kind of way. They shall come against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. Now these promises, I would say all the promises in God are yea and him, amen. We can claim all these promises. That's what faith is. You're doing it God's way, it's applied to you as well as the nation, the individual as well as him. The Lord shall command His blessings upon thee in thy storehouse, and all that thou settest thine hand unto. And He shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Oh, God's giving us some property. That looks like a communist to me. And He told them to build fences and walls. That looks like a globalist to me. The Lord shall establish thee so holy a people unto Himself, as He has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, and walk in His ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by my name, or by the name of the Lord. And they should be afraid of the real Godfather. Your friends with the real Godfather, the enemies are afraid of him. Because he has a reputation of being really ruthless. And the Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods, to the fruit of thy body, and to the fruit of thy cattle. It's repeated. God deals with repeaters, pay attention. And in the fruit of the ground, in the land, which the Lord sware unto thy fathers to give thee. The Lord shall open unto thee His good treasure, to heaven, to give the rain unto the land in this season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations. Will be lenders, not borrowers. Now, does that seem like the United States has been a blessed nation and has been supporting other nations out of its largesse for years, even in its backslidden state? Still a better country than most of the countries around the world. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and shalt not borrow. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail. Now, that can apply to you and I. God promises we'll be the head and not the tail. We'll be the ones loaning out money. Not begging for money. Not begging to borrow. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods and to serve them. Don't put any other God before God. That's a stipulation of his blessing. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all the commandments and the statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now we didn't just get through reading about curses. Adam and Eve, we wrote about, we just read about God confusing and confounding the languages of man. Still the same God. You can also apply this to you. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall thy bastards be for thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body. You're going to have some miscarriages. You're going to have some closed wounds. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in. Everything's reversed. And cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall send upon thee cursings. Now I'm reading this for a specific reason, because I'm so sick of the honey drippers that got corner on God and Christ. And that's one of the main reasons we comb through this whole book. We read from Genesis to Revelation 22. Bible study after Bible study. And the reason I do this is to destroy the myths. We do have a good God, a loving God, God full of mercy and forgiveness and grace. But we also, just like Christ is God in the flesh. We have this other side that's never talked about, never exposed. And to me, that's a weak, watered down, sugar-coated gospel. If we're not talking about the whole God, the whole Christ. Christ had 2/3 more to say about him. And be there and you doing, whoever you witnessing doing this service. And distorting the real God by not teaching the whole God. Or distorting the real Christ and not teaching the whole Christ. Hell is just much part of the gospel. It's God's grace, God's love, His peace. All the good things, healing, everything else to come with the gospel. Hell is potential to attach hell to it too. Christ had 2/3 more to say on that than he did him. And who are we? Think we are above the master. We're just servants. But I throw that in. But now you see this other side of God that's never talked about. And if you robbing God, just curse upon you curse. Tithes, offerings, first fruit, alabaster box, go on the Lord. And here's let's read some more of this cursing. The Lord shall send up on thee cursings and vexations. This is Deuteronomy. (28:20). Okay. The Lord shall send upon thee cursings, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand unto do. Can't touch nothing without God cursing. What he saying? You outside, rebelling against his will, until thou be destroyed. That's not good either. You don't want to die next day cursed. Nobody cursed died in that state. Just don't go up to the heaven of God. It's not a good start. You seal your fate right here. Like that cowardly bunch. The guy cursed and swore he wouldn't enter the promised land. That was 11 miles from it and rebelled against God. He said, and I'll set my hand against you until you are destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of thy wickedness, of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee. You're going to have some diseases, some plagues, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. That's what happened. They got there, they turned their back on God, and outdid the pagans in their own pagan place. The Lord shall smite thee with consumption, and with fever, and with inflammation, and with extreme burning, and with the sword, war, and with blasting. That's famine, drought, and with mildew. And thou shalt be, and they shall pursue thee, and thou until thou perish. And thy heaven is over thy head shall be brass. That's drought. And the earth shall underneath thee shall be iron. Ground gets mighty hard, but then rain will come for it. A few years you're turn to iron. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust from heaven shall it come down upon thee until I be destroyed. That's as the water you get, I'm gonna rain dust and dirt. It look like Oklahoma dust storm. And the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies, and thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways. Everything's reversed, everything God said, for is a blessing to the curse. Everything's opposite. Flee 7 ways before thine enemies, and all the kingdoms of the earth. And thy carcass, God loves that word, and thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air. I'm going to turn you into buzzard food, in God's way. And unto the beasts of the field, beast food, lion food. And no man shall fray them away. You ain't going to be able to beat these animals away. Can't shoot these animals. Once I call them to eat you, they're going to finish the job. The Lord will smite thee with botch of Egypt, and with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch. Oh, just making you now scratch. Listen now. Wherefore thou canst not be healed. I'm going to give you some things that you ain't going to be able to heal from. Things you're going to die with. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in the dark. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. And no man shall save thee. God says you can't join with another nation for them to help you out. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. You're going to get married, and another man going to sleep with your wife. And thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Somebody going to jack you for your house. This is God talking. I ain't writing this book, I'm just reading. We're in Deuteronomy, chapter 28, this is verse 29. He said, you're going to build a house and you can't even live in it. And thou shalt not dwell therein. And thou shalt plant a vineyard and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. You're going to have thieves taking everything from you. God raising up the thieves. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes. Ox is very important. That was like, back then, Only the one of those, what's the machines called? That do plowing and all that stuff. One of those. That's what I ought to do. That was your machine for farming. Good. So you're going to kill your ox. And thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from thee, from before thee, thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. So you're going to lose your ass. Ass is one of transportation, also carries things, heavy objects. So you're going to lose your car. Take it away from thee, thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. So your enemy's going to jack you your sheep, and nobody going to be able to go get them back from you. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto other people, or another people, and thine eyes shall look, and fail with longing for them all the days long. And there shall be no might in thine hand. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away, so that thou shalt not be mad. For thou shalt not be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs, will cripple you down. What's God talking?